Hey, what's up everybody? This is Damron. We're playing Gears 5. This is part of my Master Escape series. We're doing all the escape maps on Master difficulty, which brings us to the Hunters. Let's look at the modifiers on this map. We've got Ghost Sires, so Sires will cloak when they're near you. You also have more Sires, so there's more Sires in the map. More Strength, more Lethal, more Health, Iron Man, and faster Venom. Now, the more Strength is pretty key for these Sires because when they scream and jump at you, they don't even necessarily have to grab you because the melee attacks do more damage. If they just hit you, they're actually going to down you. So also one of the things I've mentioned in a couple prior videos, the Coalition did mention that when Operation 5 comes out, they're going to separate classes from characters. So eventually you're going to be able to play any class using any character. So essentially the characters that I'm showing you are the classes that you're going to want to bring. And we're bringing in Kate for her shotgun abilities. You want to have her maxed shotgun, especially bleeding, where you shoot enemies and if they're bleeding they take more shotgun damage. That's key. And then we also have Keegan for his explosive damage. There's a lot of explosives to utilize in this map. And we also have Cole for his melee and dash and bash abilities, where he can explode enemies by running and meleeing into them. So there's a lot of sires on this map, and that's obviously the terminology, the hunters, right? They're going to hunt you. But when you come into this first section, you may or may not have one come at you in that first doorway. That's actually pretty rare. But when you come down the stairway, you're going to usually have a few rejects to deal with. Hopefully one won't be laying down, but you can obviously just walk up behind them and execute them and immediately go back to this ammo room right here, and we're going to have our first boom shot for Keegan. So he's going to go on ahead and pick that up, and there's also explosive ammo in here, which is going to allow him to utilize using the boom shot in this first kind of area, because as you open that door, eventually a few sires are going to come at your direction, and you really just don't have much ammo yet, right? So just kind of take your time here. You've got your pistols, and you basically have the boom shot. So he's going to go ahead and start using the boom shot with Keegan and get that bleed damage on those sires. He can definitely use his shots here. There's no reason to kind of be cautious using your shots because of the ammo box that is in the safe room. So it's a good idea to go ahead and fire those boom shots on this first set of enemies that kind of attack you, and then pick up that boom shot ammo or that explosive ammo and then move forward. So that's we've got Keegan set up. He's got his boom shot, and obviously Keegan's resupply is going to be key going forward as well. Remember, using that in the Venom will resupply you not only normal ammo but as well as explosive ammo as long as you're using the cards. So moving forward, we're going to go ahead and take out a few more rejects that are in the path here. You may have some imagos also to deal with, but generally if you stay back at that ammo room, hopefully you've cleared out all the sires in this area, and you can just kind of clear out the rejects and the imagos and get moving forward. So we have one more imago to deal with here. We're going to deal with him, and we're going to progress on here to the right hand side. You can see another imago kind of pushed up here. Remember, the triple melee is very key in master difficulty. That's just done by melee, and then holding melee, and that's going to stun the enemy, and then you can either execute them with B or press X to meat shield them. But in the next room, there's a bunch of enemies, so what we want to do, as soon as we come in here, we want to immediately run up to the right hand side and get into this ammo room here and shut the door. Now, there could be sires in this ammo room, so be careful of that, but you still want to shut the door, and then you can go ahead and deal with those sires in this room. Now, there's going to be some normal ammo pouches in here, a couple flashbangs. There's also a frag in here for Keegan, so you definitely want to pick that up if you're playing the Keegan character. But then once you kind of open the door, so you can see what we're doing here is that Keegan is just dropping his ability, which is, because we're in the Venom, he's getting boom shot ammo. So he's standing in his ability, and he basically is just firing boom shots and bleeding out all these enemies that are coming at us, and we're doing this from the safe room. So we can do this pretty safely just by opening that door, dropping his ability, and letting him fire off his ammo, right? Because Cole he's set to, he's got all the melee, but if you're playing as Kate, you haven't got a shotgun yet. So really this first part is Keegan's area to shine. So moving on here, once we get to this room here, Kate and Keegan are immediately going to run all the way to the right-hand side to kind of get into this hallway here, and Cole's going to activate his ultimate and take out as many enemies as he can. There's a bunch of drones in here, and there's going to be quite a bit of sires, so you can see he's using his ultimate and taking out several enemies. Now, in this hallway, you could get attacked by some sires. You could have some drones kind of walking down this hallway as well, so you're not completely in the free, so you need to pay attention and take out whatever may come at you down here. But it's really the safest place to be, you know, if you're not Cole kind of using your ultimate. So we're going to take out, you know, whatever we can. You can see a sire grab Keegan there, so you need to melee him. And usually in this area, you're finally going to get either overkills or nashers for Kate, okay? You're generally going to be able to finally get a shotgun for Kate, and that's really going to, you know, significantly change the rest of this map, because with Keegan's bleed damage and the bleed damage from the shotgun, you know, you're going to be able to take out these sires much easier going forward. So you could see that that one drone up there had an overkill. Now, in hindsight, I probably should have activated my ultimate there whenever he initially revived me, and I could have just executed some of those enemies. So you can see Cole picked up an overkill for me, but there's also one right here. And once you get an overkill with Kate, you can really bleed out these sires pretty quickly, as you saw there. So I finally got an overkill, and we've kind of cleared out this room. This is a challenging room. There's a lot of enemies in here, so be wary of that. And then we're going to kind of progress up this little path here. And if you didn't get a Nasher, you know, you could get Nasher and overkills in this section. Sometimes there's a lot of shotgun enemies, sometimes there's not. But either way, when you get into the safe room, there's always a Nasher in here. So the second part of this level, Kate's really going to start to shine. The first part of this level, Keegan really has to take over with the boom shot and, you know, taking out all of the enemies quickly. So we're going into the safe room here. We're going to speed this up, but you're going to see when you go in here, there's going to be a Nasher. So you want to find that up. I just picked it up right there, and then have Kate pick up all the ammo pouches, and also, you know, Cole drop the overkill that he had for me. So you definitely want to, you know, by this point with Kate, you're set. You got a Nasher and an overkill. As soon as you come into this first area here, you're going to have a Scion and a bunch of Imagos or drones to deal with. If you're Kate, you kind of want to push up to this wall here and just take out this Scion. That's your focus. You can kind of snipe almost with the overkill. So you can see now Keegan has dropped his ultimate, which allows him to just fire boom shots. So he's going to sit back here and just lay waste with the boom shot. You know, him in the Venom with that ammo ultimate really allows him to just sit back and just launch boom shots and not really have to, you know, spend ammo, because he's getting it all back from his ultimate. So progressing forward, once you've cleared out that room a little bit, I'm going to head straight forward, and then once I get down here, I'm going to turn to the left, and there's a ladder up here that's going to lead to an ammo room. Be careful right here. Sometimes there's sires right at the top of the ladder. Sometimes there's no sires here, but keep an ear out. So I heard one coming, so I turned around, and you can see there's a sire right here. So keep an ear out, because, you know, generally also in that section, if you have one sire, you're going to have two. So you're going to see us take another one out here. But nonetheless, once you get into this ammo room, there's going to be more explosive ammo for Keegan if he came this way. But there's also more regular ammo at the top, as well as a stim pack. So be sure you grab that with Kate. There is another safe room to the right-hand side of this room, and that's actually where Keegan went. And there's going to be more explosive ammo in there, as well as a drop shot, I believe. So that's why Keegan tends to go that way. So progressing on, so now Keegan's got a drop shot and a boom shot, which he grabbed again from the ammo room that was on the right hand side of that room. Okay, so if you're Keegan, you definitely want to get that drop shot. Now moving up, there's going to be kind of enemies kind of all around. You know, you're going to kind of come into this section, and you're going to have sires, you know, from the right hand side. You're going to have sires, you know, pretty much coming from every direction. But now that Kate has her shotgun, you know, Kate can really take out those sires pretty quickly. So Cole went ahead and activated his ultimate and ran around and just kind of cleared out, all the enemies that were in this area. It's kind of an open area, right? You can see there's these large rooms with large entryways, and it's kind of open to the left and the right hand side. So enemies are kind of coming at you from all directions in this particular section. So you just kind of have to keep your wits about you. And what you really want to do if you're playing as Kate is take out the sires. That's your main focus if you're Kate. And Cole and Keegan are really focusing on the drones and the Imagos. So we're going to go ahead and go back to the Venom here, because if you go back to the Venom, Keegan obviously is going to be getting more explosive ammo, so he's going to drop his ultimate again, and we're all going to increase our ammo. So you definitely want to be doing this in the Venom because it's going to allow Keegan to get all that explosive ammo back pretty quickly. So that's what we're doing here. So once that ultimate goes, we're progressing on, and we're heading up to the area where you have a ramp going up. Now when you get to this area up here, you're going to have enemies to the left hand side. So what we like to do is kind of, don't go up the ramp and trigger the enemies up there. Just kind of go to the right here and get behind this cover, and let's deal with the enemies on the left hand side. If you go up the ramp, you're going to trigger more enemies, and you're going to have enemies coming down the ramp, and you're going to have these guys to the left, and you can get surrounded pretty quickly. You can start having sires come from behind you, so you can get overwhelmed. So what we like to do is just come down here and take out these enemies on the left hand side as quickly as possible, and then we don't have to worry about these these guys necessarily coming behind us as we're progressing on. So as long as you are efficient, you can take them out pretty quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and go over here and grab the overkill and Nasher that I saw. But now you can see Cole has kind of gone up the ramp and triggered some enemies. As you go up here, you've got more sires that are going to come down at you, and you're going to have some more Imagos and drone type enemies. The thing about this is that the sires can really come from any direction, and they are cloaked, so you really have to keep an ear out. So Cole's activated his ability, and he's kind of clearing the way for us. We're going to go up the ramp and to the right hand side. You're going to have some Imagos and drones kind of on the way, as well as some sires, but you can see with his ultimate, he's really clearing the path out for us, and we're pretty much letting him clear the way, and we've progressed on significantly all the way to the exit. Now be careful at the exit. You can't run necessarily to the door because you're going to have a warden that spawns back there, as well as a couple sires. So we're going to take out those sires as quickly as possible, and then we're going to kind of fall back. You also got some Imagos, right? So you can see how many enemies actually come from that doorway. So don't just run up there, or you will get killed. So we took out some of the sires, and now we need to focus down the warden. So you can see Keegan has dropped his ultimate again. So I'm taking off his helmet there, but he's just going to start firing boom shots, and we're going to clear up that warden pretty quickly. So we've taken out pretty much everybody. We're going to finish off a few of the last Imagos, and now we can finally go to the door. So this has been a pretty tough level. I mean, you got to kind of keep your head on a swivel because of the sires, right? The hunters. They can just come from any direction at all times, and they're cloaked when they get close to you. So you just have to kind of, keep your head on a swivel, keep your ear listening of if they're coming, and that's the most challenging part of this level, is that the sires, and they can come from the Venom. They really could come from any direction. So once we've cleared out everything, we can finally hit the door. You're gonna have a lot of juvies coming at this door exit, as well as some more sires, right? So we've thrown a shock grenade out there to kind of slow some enemies, but really Keegan's just firing the drop shot. He's gonna be firing the boom shot, and I'm staying close, trying to kill any sires that may come through the door with my shotgun and shooting the juvies. You can see I'm kind of staying a little to the left of the door, so I'm not able to really get shot. And Cole's kind of meleeing them as they come through. It's not too hard of a door to hold. So you just need to be careful with the sires that are coming through. So that's it for the hunters. This is a pretty challenging level, but I hope you guys find the guide helpful. I hope you're enjoying the Gears 5 Master Escape series. It's a blast. I actually really enjoy escape mode. It's a lot of fun. It's challenging. All the different maps, have different, approaches to them because of the different modifiers. So every map is different. So it's very fun. So hopefully I'll see you guys in the next Gears 5 escape map on Master difficulty.